Okay, so yesterday we discussed up to 14. Let us continue from 15. Okay, please put on your videos. Possible. Yeah, 15th one. What is IN? I can find either by using reduction formula or some other way of doing it. But something easier than that, let us see. The question was sigma n equal to 1 to infinity in by n factorial. Sigma n equal to 1 to infinity. What is in? Integral that is 1 by n factorial into integral 0 to 1 e power minus y power n dy. I can take this n factorial inside. That is sigma n equal to 1 to infinity integral 0 to 1 e power minus y into y power n by n factorial dy. When I expand the sigma, let me see what happens. Okay, in the question they gave in is this. This is what is given as in and this is what is asked. So in the place of in, I just substitute this n factorial is there. I took this n factorial inside. Now I want to open up the sigma. When I put n equal to 1, integral 0 to 1 e power minus y into y power 1 by 1 factorial dy. Starting with n equal to 1, right? Yes. Next integral 0 to 1 e power minus y into y square by 2 factorial. Next integral 0 to 1 e power minus y into y cube by 3 factorial. So if I take 0 to 1 and e power, I can add all of them. Okay. Then take e power minus y common. It is y power 1 by 1 factorial plus y square by 2 factorial plus y cube by 3 factorial, so on up to infinity. Anybody know what is this one? First of all, this into this is this into this is this into this is this, so we just combined it. Okay. All these things together, what it is? Anybody?
Expansion of e power y.
In that anything is missing or everything is there?
We should add.
Yeah, only one is missing. So integral 0 to 1 e power minus y into it is e power y minus 1. Now, when I take this into this separately, this into this is 1 minus e power minus y dy. The integral for 1 is y and for this it is plus e power minus y with the limits 0 to 1. When I put 1, it will be 1 plus e power minus 1. When I put 0, 0 plus e power 0 is 1. This one and this one cancel. Finally, it is e power minus 1, which is 1 by. So without finding in, it is easier than finding answer for in. We'll also try to find in and see what happens later on. Anybody any doubt here? You can take some time to copy or to understand. Okay, is everybody clear about this? Can somebody respond?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm going to erase. Try to put on videos, at least few people. When I say few, everybody thinks somebody else will put on their video. So that's why I should say, everybody please put on your video. Okay, whether useful or not, I don't know, but let us see how to find IN. Okay, so IN is integral 0 to 1 e power minus y into y power n dy. I know when I apply by parts many times, I'll be able to simplify this. Okay, so I'm going to directly do that step of applying partial fractions, that is partial fraction, what is it? So integration by parts n times. First, I need to decide which one I want to integrate. So I want to integrate this, so which is minus e power minus y. This I'll keep it as it is. What I kept integrated, I should keep on integrating, and what I did not change, I should keep on differentiating. And alternative plus minus. So I should write later on the integral of this, which is plus e power minus y, and the derivative of this is n into y power n minus 1. Next, plus integral of this is minus e power minus y, and derivative of this is n into n minus 1 into y power n minus 2. Next, minus plus e power minus y into n into n minus 1 into n minus 2 into y power n minus 3. I'm sure somewhere what happens is you will get, I don't know, minus or plus, which one I don't know, one of them, into e power minus y. I think these two together we can make it. This is minus, this into this together is minus, this into this minus, this is also minus. So I think I should safely say it is plus minus e power minus y. That is common everywhere. You are going to get n factorial when you differentiate n times. And in the next step, it is going to be 0 because derivative of n factorial is 0 and integration will be over. If you do by parts n times, this is the last thing, and after that you are not going to get 0. Now I have to put limit 0 to 1 in this total. But before that, everywhere minus e power minus y common, and I have y power n plus n into y power n minus 1 plus n into n minus 1 into y power n minus 2, so on up to n factorial. And the previous step to n factorial would have been n minus 1 factorial, no, that is also n factorial only, into y, and then single n factorial. I have to put from 0 to 1. When I put 1, it is minus 1 by e into, this will be 1 plus n into n minus 1 plus n into n minus 1 into n minus 2. So on, here n factorial plus n factorial, one more time. Minus, when I put 0, all these will be 0 except this. So this will be 1. So minus or minus 1 will be plus n factorial. Is this okay, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is my IN. And these are not even NC1, NC2, NC3 to write, because I should have NC1 by 2 factorial is required, not there. By 3 factorial is required, not there. So I'm able to find IN, but I don't think it is going to help me to do the question that easily. Okay. Because IN by n factorial, I will divide with n factorial everywhere. But after that, how I'm going to add all of them? Okay, this is not going to come that nicely, even if I divide with n factorial. If I divide with n factorial, this is n factorial, this is down n minus 1 factorial, this is down n minus 2 factorial, n minus 3 factorial. This will be 1 factorial, this will be 1 itself. That's what is going to come. So somebody still want to write in by n factorial in a nice way, it is minus 1 by e into 1 by n factorial, 1 by n minus 1 factorial, 1 by n minus 2 factorial, 1 by 2 factorial, 1 by 1 factorial plus 1 plus another one. Now these kind of things you should add from 0 to 1 to infinity. So how are we going to do that? I think actually we are supposed to do this up to n terms and then apply n times infinity. Otherwise it will be very difficult. Because you are going to get here 1 plus 1 plus 1 n times also. Okay, so the previous one is very nicely tamed, where in alone we cannot find there, but we are able to find the total answer. Okay, so we are not going to use it in the solution or something like that. Just I am telling how to directly write the answer. Whether it is useful or not, second. Let us if I use reduction formula step by step, what will happen? Okay. I want to decrease here, so I want to integrate. So by parts only one step I will do. That's what it is. In means the power here is n. That's what we wanted to do. Okay. So e power minus y integral is this with y power n with limit 0 to 1 minus integral 0 to 1 minus e power minus y as it is n y power n minus 1 dy. This when I put 1, this is 1, this is minus 1 by e. When I put 0, it is 0. So minus 1 by e minus, that is going to be plus n I n minus 1. Okay. So this is your reduction formula. Okay, I'm going to erase this previous one because we're not going to use it. Okay. So I can find in answer in terms of in minus 1 at best. If you have to divide with n factorial, in by n factorial is minus 1 by e by n factorial plus in minus 1 by n minus 1 factorial. Is it minus or plus? This is minus into minus is plus only. It is plus, it's not even minus. Okay. So how are we going to do sigma in by n factorial? Even if I write this, it's not going to help. Even if I expand, I'm going to get in minus 1 by n minus 1 factorial, so on. This answer will come in terms of this. That answer will come in terms of the next one. So let me just try. If I write this as 1 by e by n factorial plus this and this together is 2 times I n minus 1 by n minus 1 factorial. For that, if I use reduction formula, I'm going to get 1 by e by n minus 1 factorial plus I n minus 2 by n minus 2 factorial in the place of this. So come 2, 2 plus 1, 3 will come. So we are going to get here 1 by e common, 1 by n factorial, 2 by n minus 1 factorial, later on 3 by n minus 2 factorial. I don't know how are we going to simplify. You can do it if required. Okay, we are not getting anything, something tangible where we can write nice solution. Even though we are able to find by reduction formula one relation, or directly in some answer, but they're not, we have to think too much further to do it. But the first method that I said is quite easier. So we're not going to proceed further with this. Okay, sixth, I think now one or two questions are quite fairly simple. Okay, 16, they're asking how many solutions are there between minus pi to pi for sine theta plus cos theta equal to sine 2 theta. So one option is you can take y equal to sine theta plus cos theta separate graph, y equal to sine 2 theta graph, and draw between minus pi to pi and just see how many times they're intersecting. Okay, so we're going to draw LHS graph, RHS graph, and see how many times they're intersecting. Sine 2 theta is very easy because when theta is belongs to minus pi to pi, sine 2 theta belongs to minus 2 pi to 2 pi, two waves. Okay. So here one wave where this is pi, this is 0. Another wave there, this is minus pi. Okay, this is pi by 2. Okay, this is a graph of sine 2 theta. What is the graph of sine theta plus cos theta? Between minus pi to pi, it will cover only one wave. And the starting also is a little problem. I can write this as root 2 sine theta plus pi by 4. This one maximum is 1, minimum minus 1, whereas this one go maximum root 2, minimum minus root 4. And the graph normally starts at 0, but now this one starts at minus pi by 4, little back, that's all. And where it latent root 2 is at pi by 4. Both are maintaining max at pi by 4 only. At pi by 4, this is 1 and this is root 2. Okay, so at pi by 4, it is root 2. It's starting at minus pi by 4. This is pi by 4. This is 3 pi by 4, where it is pi. So one loop is here. And this is minus 3 pi by 4. At that time, it is minus pi by 2. So it attains minus root 2 there. And okay, so it will be the lowest value is here. And 0 is somewhere here, but it stops here. 0 would have been at minus 5 by 2. And this one also, it retains this region here. Okay. It will become 1 at pi. Minus 1 at pi. Sorry. Okay, so this one I'll draw a little thick just to differentiate. There is another color also in the okay. So this thick line is the graph of this is also one full wave because minus pi to pi is a cap of 2 pi, one full wave. And this is a graph of sine theta. You can clearly see there is one solution here, one solution here. So there are only two. This one and this one. It's only number of solutions. You can always draw LHS graph and RHS graph and see how many times they intersect. This is root 2, this is 1, this is minus 1, this is 1, this is minus root 2, and this is also minus 1, this is also minus 1, this is 0. If you don't want to do from the graph, this method 2, let sine theta plus cos theta equal to t. I'm going to take this as t. Then sine 2 theta I can write in terms of t. How? Just square it. Sine square theta plus cos square theta plus 2 sine theta cos theta is t square. And that is exactly sine 2 theta. So sine 2 theta is t square minus 1. So coming to the present question, sine theta plus cos theta equal to sine 2 theta. This is t. This is t square minus 1 is a very simple quadratic equation. When I try to find the roots, I'll get 1 plus or minus root 5 by 2, 1 minus root 5 by 2, 1 plus root 5 by 2. I cannot take this because it's going outside 1. Not even outside 1, outside root 2. Because this is it outside root 2? 1 and yeah, we're crossing 1.5, whereas this maximum value is root 2 because of that. This is okay. So basically now, sine theta plus cos theta is equal to 1 minus root 5 by 2. I don't even have to draw the graph because I know this covers one full wave. You take equal to any number, it will be covered twice. Whenever you take one full wave, except for this line, any other line, except for the topmost point and the middle value, any other line will intersect twice. So there will be two. And if you want to know exact graph, we already know there, the thick line. Okay. So that is sine theta plus cos theta starts at pi by 4 goes here up to this and here up to this. Okay. Now 1 minus root 5 by 8 is some negative number somewhere here. Okay, so there will be two solutions. We know this is minus 1, it is not that. It is below minus 1 also 2, above minus 1 also 2, and it is above minus 2. Okay. If somebody wants even what are those solutions, we may not be able to find it. Okay, but there are two. Is it all at 16, both methods? Okay, these are complex numbers, but not very difficult things related to complex numbers. Just some idea you should have. So. I'm going to erase this. Okay, so the 17th question, I have a unit circle. Okay, this is a circle of radius 1 unit and a heptagon, regular heptagon of 7 sides is inscribed. The vertices are called Z1, Z2, Z3, Z7. They said only radius is 1. They did not say you have to take one vertex is at 1, not necessary. But if I take vertex, this vertex at 1, this is 2 pi by 7 because when you join like this angle is 2 pi by 7, this is 2 pi by 7, this is 2 pi by 7, this is 2 pi by 7. There are 7 parts. So if you want to take the roots, they are 1 cis 2 pi by 7, cis 4 pi by 7, and cis 8 pi by 7, so on to cis 12 pi by 7. If you don't want to take this unit, you want to let us turn the whole thing by theta, then the initial one would have been cis theta. Next one would have been cis theta plus 2 pi by 7. Next one would have been cis theta plus 4 pi by 7. So on up to cis theta plus or 12 pi by 7. Okay. Now, it doesn't matter. If you do power 7 to all of them, you'll get 1. 1 power 7 is 1. This power 7 is also 6 to 5, 1. This also 6, 1. If you take this, all of them will give you 6, 7 theta. If you do power 7, this is 6, 7 theta, this also 6, 7 theta, this also 6, 7 theta, this also 6, 7 theta. Okay, so if I take the first case, I'll get z power 7 equal to 1. If I take the second case, I'll get z power 7 equal to 6, 7 theta, and 6, 7 theta can be anything, but its magnitude is 1. Okay, theta you can fix 10 degrees, 5 degrees, 2 degrees, anything is fine. For this, there are 7 roots. For this, there are 7 roots. They want product of all the two things. They ask that some double sigma I, what is that? 1 less than or equal to I less than j less than or equal to 7, zi, zj. What is that? All kinds of product of two things where I is less than j starting from 1 to 7. So z1 into z2 will be there, z1 into z3, z1 into z4, all kinds of two things. Okay. So now how to do that? I want to discuss two methods. We come to theory of equations. If I take z power 7 minus 1 equal to 0, or z power 7 minus the constant is 7 theta equal to 0. We all know when I take sum of the roots, it is 0 because z power 6 is missing here and here. Okay. Sum of roots, which is z1 plus z2 plus z3 plus z4 plus z5 plus z6 plus z7 is 0. Not only sum, because z power 5 is missing, what is the next highest power coefficient? The z power 6 coefficient will give you sum of the roots. Z power 5 coefficient will give you in theory of equations. Anybody want to tell what is? For example, ax power n, bx power n minus 1, cx power n minus 2 something. Minus b by a, sum of the roots. What about c by a? Nobody remembers?
Sum of the product of the roots.
Yeah, exactly what we want. You take product of two roots plus product of two roots plus product of two roots. All kinds of products of two roots, their sum. And that is also missing, so directly it is 0. That's it. So we will also get whatever z power 6, no, not z power 6, sorry, z power 5 coefficient. This is actually z power 7 coefficient. Okay. Z power 7, z power 6 coefficient equal to 0 means sum of the roots is 0. Z power 5 coefficient is 0 means we'll get whatever our question. Question is equal to 0. Okay. This is one method. Let us see some other method. Okay. I'm sure in binomial theorem somewhere you might have used it. Not exactly the answer. Whenever you want this kind of two things, how to get is you take z1 plus z2 plus z3 so on up to z7 whole square. What will come? Z1 square plus Z2 square plus Z3 square so on up to Z7 square plus 2 times we'll get 2AB, 2BC, 2CA, 2AD. That is exactly our question. All kinds of two things. Am I right? Okay. So if I want to find this, I have to find this and find this. But I already know sum of the 7 roots is 0. This is 0 whole square. Not only those who know about complex numbers, I'm telling one thing, and for others also I'll tell one thing. Those who know about complex numbers, not only sum of the roots of 7th roots of unity are 0, sum of their squares, cubes, any higher powers is also 0. Am I right? Maybe yes, this
Yes.
learnt about. Yeah. Others, I don't know where are you in complex numbers, if you have studied nth roots of unity or not. This sum is also 0. Okay. How this sum is 0, I'll give you an idea. Actually, all these are in geometric progression. Am I right? If we
Yes, sir.
take 1 e power I into 2 pi by 7, e power I into 4 pi by 7, so on e power I into 12 pi by 7. This by this is e power I into 2 pi by 7. This by this comes to e power I into 2 pi by 7. This by this also there in GP. When you take sum of the all these things, you are going to get a into 1 minus r power n by 1 minus r, or a into r power n minus 1 by r minus 1. But interestingly, r power n and 1 are same. That's why it is 0. Because what is the power 7 of this? Or power 7 of this? This is 2 pi. Or e power I into 2 pi. E power I into 2 pi or 6 2 pi is how much? 1 only, right? Okay. So this is 1 and this is 1, this is 0. That's why sum of all these things is 0. Even without that, after all, these are 7 forces acting on a particle. If in your physics, on a particle, you are applying 7 forces all at equal angles. What is the net force? 0.
0.
Right? If I take all the squares of all these things, then what happens? It becomes 4 pi by 7, 8 pi by 7, and 24 pi by 7. Still they are in GP, but this is not 6 2 pi by 7, it is 6 4 pi by 7. Sum of all the 7 terms of GP, same formula, but this will come 6 earlier 2 pi by 7 whole power 7, now 6 4 pi by 7 whole power 7, which is 6 4 pi. Earlier it is 6 2 pi 1, 1 minus 1 is 0. Now it is 4 pi again, 1 minus 1 is 0. So this is also 0, which is 2 times quotient. So not only some of the roots is 0, some of the squares is 0, which I proved to you by GP formula. Okay. So when you stand this side, you get 0. That is one way. And there is according to theory of equations, all the in-between ones are missing. So sum of the roots is 0. Sum of the 2 roots product is also 0. Sum of 3 roots that product is also 0. 4 root that product is also 0 because a lot of terms are missing. Z power 6 missing, Z power 5 and Z power. All right. So W itself is 0. What is become mod W? Oh, this 18 is very simple. I'm sure somewhere in some what do you call that police department, or I should say some kind of defense department. I'm sure they may use it, this concept. Okay, I read one article in. I'll read the question once again to you. I read one article in one of the some magazine, mathematics magazine from US. Okay, they said that they get some project from government. Okay, the thing is they have to design some kind of program. They have to write based on maths, of course. Let us say somewhere some blast took place. Okay, some bomb blast or something took place. Okay, they don't know where it took place, but there are some centers here, some other center here, some other center here. They heard the sound of this. Here also they recorded the sound. Here also they recorded the sound. And I'm sure at what time, maybe at 7:30, they heard this. And the people here heard at 7:35. The people here at 7:22 or something like this. Okay. Now they don't know what is this distance and how much time sound traveled. That they don't know. Okay. But what they know is the time gap between the at what time this person had and what time this person had. So now what happens? Uh, let's say this is A and this is B and this is C and this is P. If it took T time to travel from here to here, I'm sure here it took T plus 5 time and here it took T minus 8 time. Am I right? Then this distance should be velocity of sound into T. This distance should be velocity of sound into T plus 5. This is velocity of sound into T minus 8. Okay. I don't know where it is, but coming to this, P I don't know, but I know PA minus PB. Why? My PB is the velocity of sound into T plus 5, and I don't know T. T is not known to me. Okay. Minus the velocity of sound into T. When I cancel this, I'll get 5 Vs. I know velocity of sound, I know 5. So I got PB minus, sorry, this is not PB, PB minus P. I know in ellipse that if you know two foci are A and B, PA plus PB is constant. And if PA minus PB is constant, locus of P is a
hyperbola.
Hyperbola. Not both branches, only one branch of hyperbola. If you take a hyperbola, this is A and this is B. If PB is more than PA, it is this branch. If PA is more than PB, it is this branch. Okay, so take this branch, PA is greater than PB. Okay. So when PB minus PA is some constant, it is a particular hyperbola with A and B as a foci. Distance to B should be more, distance to A should be less. So it is some branch of hyperbola like this, or sorry, like this. Okay, they know that the bomb blast might have taken place anywhere on this hyperbola. Am I right? So they cannot detect that where it is exactly. But let us see, look at this and this, or even this and this. When you take a PA minus PC, that will be 8 times, not 8 times, maybe let us take 720 here, 10 times velocity of sound or something like that, 10 minutes. Okay. So that is another hyperbola where it may be, okay, some branch of hyperbola like this where A and C are foci of that hyperbola. with a particular what is this, the length of transverse axis, right? Now, if you know this equation solve, we'll get the coordinates of that point where the blast is placed. Am I right? So if you have, it can happen in the ocean. Because in the ocean, I'm sure they keep many buoys in many places. Okay, and from the buoys they can get readings of what is the speed of the current there and what is the depth of the ocean or something, right? So if some blast took place and they're not able to exactly see where it is, they know at what time at different buoys the sensors detect that. Okay, and then let's say they got from 4 or 5 sources. Then between these two, they'll draw one hyperbola. Between these two, they draw all the hyperbolas will coincide at a point, and we'll get exact location of that. Okay, I'm just giving an example where maths is heavily present in different analysis. Okay, this question is exactly that. Okay, now if you read, I don't have to write anything. Just read the question sufficient. Okay, so the sound of a cannon firing is heard 1 second later at position B than at position A. If the speed of sound is uniform, then the position A and B are foci of a hyperbola with cannon position on one branch of the hyperbola. That itself is correct, because if a position of the cannon is at P, PB is V into T, PA will be V into T plus 1, and the difference will be V. PA minus PB is constant, means locus is a hyperbola. Is it okay for writing? So nothing much to write. Just PA minus PB is constant, you have to know, but it's a from use of. Okay. How much time we have? Let us see what are we.